So we've got to eliminate those things. I thought our guys played extremely hard. Um, I thought we captured momentum there in the first half and did a good job of establishing those things and just didn't really come out and get anything established in the second half the way we needed to. So hats off to Coach Gundy and Oklahoma State. They've got a really talented football team, but very proud of our team and what they can do. And I think this team's got a chance to do some things this year. We got to stay healthy. We got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot, and we got to be a little bit more disciplined in some areas. So with that, I'll take questions.
Talk about when you got down. A lot of people could, I'm sure in the stands are saying, "Well, look at OSU is going to, have their way." But talk a little bit about what a great resolve you had, and the team came back and took the halftime lead. I mean, that was pretty incredible after that start.
Well, I think obviously we didn't get started the way we wanted to. They opened up with a big play and a couple of big plays in there. So I was very proud of our football team. I think we stayed locked in, continued to keep grinding. We stayed together. I think this team is a bunch of guys that are relentless about finding and fighting them until we find a way to win. I'm very proud of that part of it. I thought we really did some good things there, kind of in that latter part of the first quarter, and then the second quarter I thought things kind of took fire. We played the way I wanted us to play. Good tempo on both sides, good recognition, hit some throws. I thought some guys really stepped up and made some plays. And really I thought our conditioning there in the latter part of the second half was a big factor. I thought our tempo was really good right through there. We had a good balance of what we wanted to do, and guys just kept continuing to compete and make plays.
You mentioned the penalties. I know that was an issue last week too. Is that some of that just experience, youth, or is it just like
some of it is experienced. Some of it, I got to be real careful, but
right.
I just have to look at the film and see it all, right? So there's some things that obviously we got to go back and correct. Some of that's some youth. We just got to be a little bit more disciplined in some areas. But, as long as we're playing hard, we just can't have those come in at negative times. And today they really came in at negative times, put us behind the chains in some areas and negated some really big plays that happened. I bet we lost 150 or more yards off of penalties. Not just, I think, obviously we had 156 yards of penalties. But in addition to that, there was probably 3 or 4 big pass plays in there that happened that got negated because of that. So we'll go back, look at the tape, and see what it is.
How frustrating is that, though, in a close game when
Well, especially in the second half, there was probably at least 3, maybe 4 of those that happened in the second half where, I thought very similar to the first half, that play probably was fixing to spark and some good things were about to happen. And when you're battling like that, one of those big plays like that can really light it on fire. It happened in the first half. We throw the touchdown, and then things started really clicking. We got a lot of momentum at that point, and I think these plays probably could have led to that. Sure would have liked to have seen it.
On your defense, we've talked about it before. They're resilient and tough-minded, it seems, but to give up 2 touchdowns in the first 4 minutes and then only 2 more the rest of the way against a team with, explosive playmakers like that, what did it take for the defense to dial in and figure some things out?
Yeah, I think they just needed to take a deep breath, relax, and get back to playing football the way we know how to play it. I mean, those guys, the big run early, I think we're just flying a little bit too fast, and we kind of overran it. He hit a cutback in there, and we just kind of over-pursued it, probably a little too hyped there. The second one, honestly, I don't even remember at this point. And then I thought our defense kind of settled down and started playing the way I know they can play. The big play they had in the second half on the throw, we're in decent position right there. It's a good play by him, and those things sometimes happen. But I was proud of our defense and their effort. That's an explosive offense that's put up a ton of points the first 2 weeks, and I thought our guys did a really nice job of battling all the way through.
And then on your offense, shut out in the second half. What was you touched on some of it? Generally,
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think a lot of that went back to us shooting ourselves in the foot in the penalty parts of it. We had some drives in there or started some drives, and then as we're clicking down the field, all of a sudden something puts us behind the chains. This is not a team you want to get behind the chains against. So, one of the things that we did a good job of in the first half, especially kind of mid first quarter and then on through, was we did some nice job staying ahead of the chains, and we can stay a lot more balanced and do what we want to do in those situations. We were fighting the chains and fighting penalties the rest of the second half, and when you do that, it's going to be hard to continue to maintain that type of momentum.
Philip, you were the more energetic team coming off the field at the half. Give me a sense of the mood in the locker room and what kind of optimism there was at that point.
Yeah, I thought, our guys were in the right frame of mind. We had all the momentum at that point. Obviously, you got to go back in, make some adjustments, but also you got to come back out and reestablish momentum. I thought we had some opportunities to do that and just didn't take advantage of them, or we hurt ourselves with a penalty. So all that momentum is great, and the locker room was great. Those guys are locked in and focused, yet you got to come back out in the second half. We've been talking about this since January about finishing, and you got to come back out, reestablish it, and go back to work.
Did Zach take a hit to the head there? What happened there?
Yeah, he took a good hit right in the back, but he could have came back in the game. I just didn't do it.
Is this a game where, obviously, I know losses are never fun, right? But is this a game that moving forward you can take positives from and know that you've done good things that will translate well into conference?
Well, just like I said in the opening statement, I think we got a dang good football team. I really do. I think we're young, but we're starting to really come together. I think we're seeing flashes of things coming together. Now we've got to put – I thought last week we put a full 60 minutes together. This week I think we put 30 minutes together. Especially against that level of competition, you're going to have to play 60 minutes, and we just didn't come back out and reestablish it in the second half.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you.